Hey everyone, Reseller here, and this is going to be your top 10 items sold in July of 2019. Hope everyone is having an amazing day. So we're going to go over the top 10 things sold, high dollar value items sold July 2019 here in the American Cancer Society charity shop. And already gonna see I'm gonna have some troubles. I guess wearing a white shirt might not have been a great idea here. Also, I don't know what's going on with this piece of hair here. So but anyways, we're gonna go over some of the items that were sold on eBay. We're gonna do it to topped the top 10 things that are sold. First off, definitely go down there, click the like button, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. If you're new to the channel, I go over things that we sold here in the American Cancer Society charity shop. I'm Chris, reseller over 30 years, all this stuff, blah, 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 right? You want to get into this stuff. Let's get into this stuff. This was the top item sold this month. This is God, I'm already doing it. Piaget. I think I said it right. Piaget. It's not Piaget. It's not Piaget. Just don't say it that way. It's Piaget, I think. Polo. This is a 18 karat yellow gold woman's ladies watch. Now the thing with this thing is if it actually was in better condition, it probably would have sold for more. But we did take a best offer for $2,100. This was the highest price thing that we've sold this year. $2,100. So basically, look out for this brand. Now Piaget. There's also like, you know, there's fakes and stuff out there, so just make sure you know what you're doing. This happens to be like a solid gold watch to my understanding. So, you know, the weight of the gold is basically what, you know, the reason why this watch went for so much. And this is what the back looks like. As you can see here, it's pretty dirty. It's got some, you know, it's got heavy wear. It's not perfect. I mean, you know, it's got, you know, some paperwork and everything with it, which was a help. Not to mention it had the box and all this kind of stuff, extra cufflinks and things. Now, I'm not sure whoever bought this is going to basically either restore this or just scrap it for gold. I have no idea. But this was the best sale we've had this year, so congratulations to Paula out of Stockton, California. If you're in the Stockton, California area, which is up north from Los Angeles, definitely go and stop by. There's lots of discovery shops up there in Northern California. Speaking of Paulo, she had another great sale. This was a Patrick Nagel original stereograph, signed and numbered out of 250. For those that don't know, this is a, you know, an 80s artist. You know, this is the 80s stuff has become very popular over the last 10 years. And Patrick Nagel is a artist that you should definitely look out for, especially signed pieces. Some of the prints that aren't signed and aren't limited, not so much, but anything, especially originals, man. Originals can go for a ton of money. And definitely, he's got this very unique style. As a matter of fact, like, what is it? The Take on Me by Aha. You know, that song. I'm not going to sing it. Don't make me sing it. Don't make me sing it. But anyways, it's kind of got that same style, and I wouldn't even be surprised if I did my research that he had something to do with that particular music video. It's like got, you know, it's like live action and kind of sketchy cartoon stuff. So it's kind of the same style, you know, totally the 80s, and just Patrick Nagel's a artist to look out for sure. We did take a best offer for this, and let me look at my notes here. For a total of $639.80. That was with shipping and all this stuff. And it arrived safe and sound. You know, there was some issues with the frame, but the person that purchased this, I think, is going to restore this and put it in probably a better frame and all that stuff. So, like I said, two great sales by Paula. She really did an amazing job this month for sure. Next up, we have this antique sterling silver set. This is Blackington and Company. This was a 16-piece set, sterling silver, as you can see here. Sometimes you might come across this stuff at estate sales, and pretty much estate sales will know what they have. But basically, if you look on the back here, I think I took a picture. If it says sterling on the back, definitely take another look at whatever you're looking at. You know, sterling could be filled too. It's called weighted. So if you see sterling and it says weighted or loaded, that means that it's usually silver. It's not plated. It's almost like a silver shell. and then the internal things inside it are usually concrete or some kind of other filling. When it's weighted, candlesticks are notorious for this. So don't get excited when you see sterling and it says weighted or loaded, those two terminologies. But if it says just sterling, it's a pretty good indicator that it's just pure sterling. And also we have the hallmarks here that had to do some research on this. And huge shout out to the Facebook group that were able to lock that thing down. And we did take a best offer for the total for this one was $313.73. So definitely keep an eye out for this kind of stuff at estate sales. Sometimes, you can find, complete sets of these at estate sales. Usually they're going to probably sell them per piece. And depending on everything, usually the brush and the mirror have the most silver weight content. So if you can get those for a good price, definitely try to look for those. Next up, we have another art piece here from Leroy Neiman. This is the Brooklyn Bridge hand-signed print frame. We did try to get $500 for this at one point, as this Leroy Neiman is very well known in the art world. He's not like super popular, but he's more popular than the stuff you're probably going to find at Goodwill. What am I doing here? There we go. And so what this was a thing of the Brooklyn Bridge, and obviously it's got the Twin Towers in the background from 9/11. So those don't exist anymore, which brings makes this piece a little bit more, for myself, a little bit more memorable. I did mention that in the description, I think. Signed in Sharpie, beautiful signature. Not this print is basically hasn't been in the sunlight, so it wasn't ever ruined by UV light. Nice frame. Anyways, we sat on this for a while. We did take a best offer, and it sold for a total of $306.99. And this one was kind of a pain in the ass to ship, because I have different frame boxes for art, and usually the frame stuff is square. This one happens to be rectangle, so the longness of this, I had to kind of Frankenstein in addition to one of my boxes to get this shipped. But I have a couple of videos on how to ship art, and if I can remember, I'll put them right here. I'll put one of them right there if I can remember. I doubt I'll remember. I don't have a pen to write it down. Oh well, my slow brain. So there you go. It's slowing down. Will definitely not remember. But anyways, I digress. Next up, we have this Eternity for Men, and the reason why I put this is we had 12 of these. We talked about this in the last two videos, that a lady that did swag bags for the Academy Awards basically donated a bunch of this kind of stuff to us. We're still kind of selling through. This sold through real quick at the price point of $19.98, though we did sell a few of them at $24.98, or $24.99, I should say. All 12 of them sold very quickly, I think, for resale. I think if you put this in a retail setting, it would probably, like a Macy's or something, you could probably get $50 or $60 each for these. And I think that's what happened, as these were authentic pieces, as we can see here. If we can thumb through, definitely authentic pieces. These aren't knockoffs. And one guy bought 5 of them, and that was like over a $100 sale. So like I said, people probably own shops. They can easily double their money. You can easily sell this for $40 in a boutique or something like that. And so these sold through very quick, as a matter of fact. The total on all 12 pieces, let me see here, we made $287.09 on the 12 pieces, and that's total with everything, including shipping with that. So really good sale, really good stuff. This sold through real quick, and I've talked ad nauseum about perfumes and colognes. They're sleepers for sure. And you can find them, even ones that are like half full. If you can get some rare ones at estate sales and things like that, are definitely things to pick up for sure. Next up, we have this Oscar de la Renta brooch pin, glass enamel, all the fun keywords there, as we could see here. This one went up for auction. This is a beautiful piece, obviously a vintage piece here. Beautiful Oscar de la Renta. Nice photographs. This was out of Pleasanton, California. Huge shout out to Pleasanton. They had some pretty good sales this month, as we can see here. Let's take another look at the mark there. That's what the hallmark's going to look like. It's going to say Oscar de la Renta. If you don't know what that looks like, that's what that looks like. It's going to be like a little squiggly signature, but if those have been in the jewelry game, will recognize that. Made in the USA, of course. And this did go on auction, and I'm going to do a video pretty soon about the importance of auctions. I think auctions are pretty much dead as far as the reseller community, but I'm going to say right now that I've been experimenting with auctions, and I have some really good tips. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, you should probably subscribe and click the bell for notifications for any time I go live, and we'll be covering that stuff in a future date. So the total with everything, this sold for $264.99. This is a great sale, and like I said, brooches, even if they're gold tone or silver tone or whatever, some of the vintage ones still go for a pretty good amount of money, and just don't count on the gold content or whatever for being able to get some good money for. Look how huge this thing is in this lady's hand. It's huge. Next up is this World War I Trench Periscope. For those that don't know what a periscope is, it's basically like a binocular that has a long tube so that you don't get your head blown off when you're looking through it. So if you're in a trench, which is basically a fancy name for a squared hole, you can look out of the trench without getting your head blown off, and basically that's what this is. It was a nice piece. These are sleeper items too, World War I items and World War II items. You can find them every once in a while at estate sales and garage sales and things. This one had its case, and there's our shop if you want to come visit. But basically, this was in pretty good condition. You might say, oh, this thing actually looks pretty beat up, but for being like, you know, almost over 100, actually over 100 years old, it's in pretty good shape. It works pretty well. The lenses and the glass aren't broken or anything. And as you can see here, it says a trench periscope. All the stuff is model 1918, so this is just over, you know, 100 years old, unless this was manufactured after that, and this happens to be the model 1918. As we can see here, it's got all the hallmarks, and so this is pretty easy to research. I've seen these things go for between, you know, $100 to $400 depending on condition. For as far as these conditions are everything, but we still got a pretty good amount of money for this, and I did try to list it for $300, and we had it up for a while before. We did take a best offer for a total of $213.99. So this was a pretty good sale. Next up, we have this Kate Spade bag. This is a Al Purse handbag. All the keywords there. I would have probably stuffed another couple of keywords into this, but a huge sale from Eureka, California. So a huge shout out to them. The great purse, new with tags, Kate Spade. I'm not like a huge fan of Kate Spade, as you know, some of the stuff doesn't sell, but the handbags and things that are, you know, very unique in the Kate Spade world definitely go for a pretty good amount of money. So definitely keep an eye on that. Now, I don't think Kate Spade stuff necessarily is counterfeited as much as like Gucci and Prada and all that stuff, but definitely be warned and just to double check everything before you purchase something, especially if you're at a flea market. I don't know what it is with flea markets, but those are the places where, you know, they sell the knockoffs quite frequently. We did sell this for a total of $210. That's what shipping and everything. So great sale to Eureka. Very unique item. Owls are pretty big in the whatever, I don't even know what you call it, the animal community. As far as people that collect animals, owls are definitely one of those animals that, like, you know, like elephants too, or another big seller in the animal category. But anyways, yeah, so definitely check that out. Next up, we have this Kevin Harvick signed replica helmet. This isn't a real helmet. It looks like a real helmet. It's the size of a real helmet. It's just not a real helmet that you should be wearing. And I think I actually took a photo of that part. Yeah, see, it says replica helmet, not for use. It's like pretty much like a real helmet, except for you can't put it on. There's this crazy plastic piece that's like embedded in there. And so, which is basically protecting the company from not being sued in case, you know, you're like, oh, I can use this helmet, and then you die from head trauma. And then you try to sue the company, and they're like, this isn't a real helmet. Duh. But anyways, I thought it was actually really clever that they put that piece in there. A huge shout out to that company. Huge shout out to Bakersfield also. I guess one of the managers went to school with Kevin Harvick, so he's donating stuff at the Bakersfield shop all the time. So if you're in Bakersfield, which is very much north of Los Angeles, maybe like an hour and a half out, maybe 2 hours out of Los Angeles. Definitely go and stop by if you're in the Bakersfield area. And we sold 2 of these. There was another one. I didn't show it because why show the same thing? We basically got the same exact price for both of them. One was a red one was a white one. We did take a best offer for this, and this sold for a total of $201.35. Both of them went exactly for that same price, and I'm not sure. I'll have to go and check, but I don't think it was the same customer bought them twice or bought it one after the other, because this sold like a week before the last one sold. So I'll have to double check that, but I think there was 2 separate buyers, but they paid they did send a best offer and paid exactly what they did for it. I don't know what I'm talking about. you start. I'm all super confused today. Next up is this Star Wars Destiny sealed lot thing, Bob. We got this huge collection of board games, and I got very excited because when we got the donation, there was like 16 boxes just filled of sealed things, and I was so excited because I saw this first box. I opened it up, and there was all this Star Wars stuff, and it was all sealed, and I was like, oh man, this stuff's got to be worth a ton of money. So I was very excited, and then when I went through all the other boxes, they were like all used. Pretty much 90% of the stuff was used board games that weren't really worth much. So I kind of got excited. But then anyways, I went to look these up, and they weren't actually going for that much money. And so I don't know what it is. It's kind of like a dice collectible card game thing. It's not very popular. So if I was ungated in Amazon, this would have been a great thing for this particular brand. Now, this particular company that makes this stuff has locked this kind of brand down. So you have to have an invoice. You have to sell this stuff to be able to sell this on. You have to have a store with an invoice to basically sell this stuff on Amazon, which we didn't. So Amazon would have been a great place to source this or sell it if we were ungated. But it was just better just to sell it off as a lot, and is which we did. So whoever bought this got a good deal if they were going to turn around and resell, or if it was a collector that wanted to buy this as, you know, for their collection. And the person that bought it, I looked at their eBay store, and they sell the individual little cards and dice that come in these things. So I'm pretty sure this is for resale. They'll probably double their money once they open it up and do all that hard work of listing and finding and all that stuff, which we weren't going to do. This was a huge box that was in my room, and we got as much as I felt we can possibly get for it. And like I said, if you're not following us on eBay, go down there, click the link. There's good deals in there for resale. So go down there, click the link. If the link doesn't work, let me know. I've heard people saying the American Cancer Society eBay shop link doesn't work, but when I click it, it works. So it could be something on their end. It could be something YouTube's doing to me. I have no idea, but let me know in the comments below if you can go click down there and check that out. Once again, I'm reseller here on, that's the wrong guy. I'm reseller on Steemit. I was just doing a video for that. Chris, the Thrift Shop Hustler. That's what. Oh man, that's what I meant to say. Anyways, oh man, I forgot I had the white shirt on. Anyways, hope everyone has a great week, and we'll have another video tomorrow. So take care and happy sales.